everyone, and welcome back to another video. So today I decided I am going to do my January wrap-up. In January, I read a total of 6 books. It was a good mixture of books. I read a couple of arcs, I read a graphic novel, I read a mystery, I read a fantasy romance, I read some young adult novels. So it was a good mixture, but unfortunately I didn't read like any blow my mind books. I didn't read any 5 stars. I read 3 3-star books and 3 4-star books, so let's get into the novels that I read. So the first book I ended up finishing was Rent a Boyfriend by Gloria Chao. This is a young adult contemporary novel that I actually listened to on audiobook, and it was a book that I featured in a reading vlog, so if you're interested in that, I will leave the link up above there. But yeah, this is a young adult contemporary following 2 Taiwanese American people. One is a girl who decides to join a site that is literally a rent-a-boyfriend site. She wants to rent a boyfriend to impress her parents and kind of get them off of her back. So she decides to rent a boyfriend, and that boyfriend is Andrew, who just is there to help her out but also to make money. And of course it is that kind of fake dating trope, and they end up really liking each other. So it was just this cute YA contemporary, but it wasn't anything that like really blew my mind, and it has all the standard tropes of a YA contemporary, but I did enjoy the characters, and the audiobook itself is actually really enjoyable. It has 2 different voice actors for the main characters, so that was really cool to listen to, and it made my reading experience / listening experience 10 times better. So I would recommend the audiobook if you wanted to check this one out, but I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. Next, I read A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. This is a book that has been really popular on Book Talk, actually, and a coworker of mine ended up buying it because she was really excited to read it, and then read it and told me that I had to read it, and I did. But basically this is a Hades and Persephone retelling with a lot of smut. It is set kind of in the modern world, and in this modern world the gods are actually really like well known. They're almost celebrities in a way, and Hades owns clubs and restaurants and things like that, and then Persephone is actually hiding in the human world amongst humans. They do not know that she exists, or rather that she is a goddess, basically, but she ends up making a deal with Hades kind of unknowingly, and the story kind of takes off from there. She is tasked with creating life in the underworld, which there is no life, but she really struggles with her own powers or lack thereof. So it's kind of revolving around her own like abilities as a goddess, and then the relationship that she has with Hades himself. But it was really fun to read, and I highly enjoyed it as a Hades and Persephone retelling. However, there were parts of it where I was like, because Persephone kind of like took that almost childish kind of tone with things, and I really didn't like that, and because she was like early 20s. So the writing style, I guess that you could say that was the writing style itself. So I think the writing style could have been a little bit better, and the choices could have been better for the characters, but I still enjoyed it as a Hades and Persephone retelling, and I enjoyed the smut in it. So that's basically why I read it, but I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars as well. Next, I ended up reading The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This is an adult mystery novel, and actually this one, as well as A Touch of Darkness, was also featured in a reading vlog, the same reading vlog as Rent a Boyfriend. So again, if you wanted to check that out and to get further, like more in-depth thoughts about my experience reading these, you can go check that up in the link up above. But yes, so this one I read and actually really enjoyed. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. This is technically Lucy Foley's first novel. She's also the author of The Guest List, which is one that I read last year and also really enjoyed. This one is set in the Scottish wilderness. It is following a group of friends from college, now all in their adult lives basically, and they just always get together around the new year. Each person rather each year, one of them sets up this kind of getaway for everyone. And this time it is Emma's turn, and Emma's actually kind of the newest member of the group. She ends up marrying one of the like core members of this friend group, so she kind of is a part of the friend group by default in a way, and she just kind of wants to be more accepted, so she creates or sets up this getaway for them in the Scottish wilderness where they're just away from everything, and it is one of those places that if the snow comes down really heavily, they're gonna be stuck up there, like no help can get to them and they can't get out. So, you know, perfect setup for a mystery thriller novel. This book follows 5 perspectives, I believe. There's Emma, Katie, Miranda, Heather, and Doug. Heather and Doug actually work at this getaway place. I am saying getaway place. It's more like a kind of cabin setup with a like lounge area and things like that, but individual cabins are set up around this lake as well. There are also 2 other people staying there from Iceland, I believe, but they're kind of not part of this friend group, they're just there. But anyway, like Heather and Doug are part of this. Like Doug is the groundskeeper and Heather is more of a manager. And then Emma, Miranda, and Katie are part of this friend group. Miranda's like the beautiful one that kind of always gets her way, and Katie is Miranda's longtime best friend. They have been friends the longest out of all of them, and Katie is always like that kind of shy one, but obviously there's a lot of tension in this friend group. Everybody has secrets, and then somebody ends up dead. What I love about Lucy Foley's writing is that because of all these perspectives and these kind of timelines, Emma, Miranda, and Katie's perspectives are taking place in the past, technically, like a couple of days before the body is found, and then Heather and Doug's perspectives are taking place after the body is found. So you're getting both timelines parallel to each other. So first of all, you don't know who is dead, and second, you don't know obviously who the killer is. So you're trying to get all the clues of like who could possibly be the killer and who could possibly be dead. You pretty much learn quickly who could be the one that dies, but it's always a guessing game either way, and that's what I love about Lucy Foley's writing. So this is actually the same as the guest list in that vein of things, so I hope she keeps up this writing style because I really enjoy it, and it makes for a great reading experience and definitely an awesome mystery. So like I said, I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoy it. I actually highly recommend Lucy Foley's writing. The Hunting Party and the guest list are both really good. Next, I ended up reading an arc of Remote Control by Nnedi Okorafor. This is her latest novella. It is an adult sci-fi novel that recently came out, I believe in January. I read it just before it came out, but I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I love Nnedi's writing style. I've read Binti and I believe the second one in that trilogy as well. Remote Control is about a young girl who touches this object and it ends up basically wiping out everybody in her town except for her. So she becomes this like walking death figure, and she also ends up having this kind of fox companion, so that's like a little weird touch there. But there are AI figures in this, so there is that side of sci-fi, but we're also kind of getting that fantasy element with the fox as well as this magic that she has, but we don't entirely know what it is. If you read this, you'll find that there's like a deeper meaning behind everything, and be aware that at the end you might not totally get all the answers that you were looking for, but I kind of like that open ending, at least in this one. So I did enjoy this one. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend this, as well as more of Okorafor's writing. Next, I read an arc of The Iron Raven by Julie Kagawa. This is Julie Kagawa's newest novel that is coming out, I believe, actually February. So I believe tomorrow. As I'm filming this, it is Sunday, but I believe since it's going up tomorrow, Monday, it's gonna come out on Tuesday. The 9th, I think that's when it should be coming out. But yeah, this is Julie Kagawa's newest novel set in the same world as the Iron Fae series. I read the Iron Fae trilogy, technically it's a quartet, like 10 years ago, and I loved it when I read it. So when I found out that she was writing another novel set in that same world, I was super excited because that was like my childhood. The Iron Raven is set some years after the the events of the Iron Fae quartet and then the following trilogy as well. So there are going to be spoilers in this book if you haven't read the original trilogy, or the original series, I should say. However, it is a book that you don't have to read the first group of novels to get into this one. It could be its own thing. So this is perfect for fans of Julie Kagawa as well as new readers to Julie Kagawa. Basically, this follows the fairy Puck, otherwise known as Robin Goodfellow, who you might recognize from other works of literature, Shakespeare especially. But yeah, it just has his standard humor. He's a prankster, but it's basically his journey to stop this evil that is cropping up here in the Iron Fae world. And you're going to see other characters that you met in the Iron Fae series, but mainly this is from Puck's point of view, which gave it this touch of humor that you know and love if you've read these stories before, because Puck is quite hilarious. But I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. Although it was very nostalgic for me, reading it now, I realize that it is kind of more on the younger reader side, so I would say this is more aimed at the 12, 13, 14-year-olds of the YA realm genre here. Not to say that adults can't read this, but it does feel a bit more on the childish side. So there's not a lot of depth to the story, not a lot of depth to the characters, but it was very nostalgic for me, which is why I enjoyed the reading process of it. I did give it 3 out of 5 stars because it's not something that I really loved, but it's not a horrible novel either. I think a lot of people might enjoy it. But yeah, just know what you're getting into if you decide to pick this up. But if you are a fan of Julie Kagawa, you might enjoy this just because of the nostalgic aspect of it. And then finally, I read Heartstopper Volume 2 by Alice Oseman. Oh my gosh, so freaking cute. I love the Heartstopper series. It is adorable. It follows 2 young men in high school and their journey of being in a relationship. You learn more about the kind of jock character, and as well as like how he grows into himself and learns more about himself, which is just so beautiful to see. But just, it's so cute and so fun, and I think it has really great representation in it. It has gay representation as well as bisexual representation. It's just so cute. I love it so much. The artwork as well in it is just adorable, and I just love the colors so much. So cute. It's just one of those graphic novels that if you're looking for one with good representation as well as just a cute storyline and one that will make you smile, that's the one that you should pick up. The third one is coming out in the US very soon, but I think you can already get it like through Amazon. I don't want to say Amazon, but because I work at an independent bookstore, but the third one is coming out in the US very soon. You could probably get it someplace else, but I cannot wait to read that and pick it up because the first and second one were just so adorable. But I did give this one 4 out of 5 stars. Adorable. I loved it so much. It's so cute. I highly recommend it. So there you have it, everyone. These were the 6 books, 3 physical, 3 other ones that I don't have with me that I read in the month of January. Let me know down below if you have read any of these books and what you thought about them. I would love to know. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun YouTube stuff, and I will see you all next time. Bye!